Good morning, everyone. Today we'll discuss about the next topic, that is teams, suggestion systems, performance appraisals, recognitions and rewards, and trade unions and advantages of the employee involvement. So let's start with the first topic, that is teams or a team. It is there. Teams is a plural form. So what is team? Team. So as you are seeing in the PPT, the T for together, E for everyone, A for achieves, M for more. So totally the together everyone achieves more. So as it is telling, so in the organization, the team has to work. Wherever the people are working, there is a need of teamwork is very essential. In order to accomplish the task, the teams play a very crucial role in submitting the task in a given prescribed time. Team comprises of group of people linked to accomplish the common purpose and especially meant for conducting the tasks that have high level of complexity and that have many interdependent subtasks. So team generates interaction or cooperation of kind of things in the organizations. So team, we are having, there are different types of teams are there based on their as per their objectives. They are as follows. So one is problem solving team, second one is the self managed teams, third one is cross functional teams, and fourth one is a virtual teams. So problem solving teams, so what the it means that it telling the team which is ready to solve the problems. So usually in this type we are having a team of 5 to 12 people representing a particular problem area that includes various processes and sub processes in the functions. So these team will give the good solutions, come up with the good solutions to the problems. Similarly, next, self-managed. So this is also a kind of a team that operates without managers. So there are no any managers to tell to do your work. They self-managed without the help of managers and which are responsible for complete the work processes or segments that delivers the product or services to internal or external customers. So this will be the self-managed teams. Third one will be of cross-functional teams. What are cross-functional teams? It means that the industry or any company will have a different department. It may be of engineering department, it may be design department, it may be of production, it may be of service. So all this, the people from the expert people from the all these people will come together, they will make a team and they will look after the all the aspects of the organization and complete the task in a given time. So similarly, fourth one we are having the virtual teams. So virtual team is a team where they are going to working behind the screen, the development in the communication technologies within the organizations. So next we'll study about the what are the characteristics of successful teams, how they are become a successful teams. So first of all, it should have a team charter. What is team charter? It states that it is nothing but a document and it defines about the team's missions, what are the boundaries, what is the background of the problem, and what are the authorities and responsibilities of the team and each member has having. It will be telling the what is the authority has the each the person is having. So next is clarity of goals. Next one is clarity of goals and objectives. It will tell about the goals has to reflect group or community values. It will be telling that. Next one is end driven structures. A proper balance between the process and product has to be maintained. So this will be the end driven structures, and will be responsible for collecting the immediate feedbacks from the customers. Next, fourth one is competent team members. Your team members should be very competent enough to solve the problems in a proper way. Next, fifth one is a unified commitments. There should be team spirit should be there, and there should not be there I word. So in the team, the word should be there we. Okay, the together everyone achieves more. There should be one commitment. Everyone treat as a ours, not me or myself. So that will be the unified commitment. Sixth one will be of communication. There should be better communication between the each and every members. Next, resources. The resources of the company or the team has to be well utilized. It may be human resources, it may be material resources, it may be any other resources. So next one is a principled leaderships. There should be a leader should be there for the every team with the principles of the organizations. He should be leading in a proper way. So next, team consists of various members. It may be of team leader, it may be a facilitator, recorder, timekeeper, and members. So each these persons will have different responsibilities. For example, the responsibilities of a team leader includes the clarifying the purpose and helping the teams to identify the goals. Similarly, facilitator will start the meeting to be started, and he'll be facilitator between the different members. Will provide the feedback about the effectiveness of the team performance and all these things. So next he'll be the recorder. The person he'll be recording the documentations, what time the people are submitting. He'll be giving the summaries. So next one is the timekeeper. He'll be noting down the all the time schedules of the team works. And last one is the members. The team members will work effectively in the completing the task, and they will not be creating any disturbance to the task. Next is the steps in making the team meeting effective. What are the steps how to make the team meetings very effective? Okay, without having some plans and all these things, we can't make the team meetings very effective. To start any team meetings, we should have the following steps. So before starting the team meeting, we should prepare. Very first phase is prepare an agenda for the team meetings. In this, we have to prepare what we have to communicate, what you have to tell to our team members, on what topic you have to discuss. That has to be given to the already communicated to the our team members. The next one is be cautious about the times. There should be cautious about the time when the meeting is going to be started. It should be noticed earlier to the before the meetings. Next, decide on the role of each members attending the meetings. You have to define the role, what the role are playing in this agendas or in this given task. So fourth one is listen to the teams. You have to listen to the teams, what the people are telling, what are their views, and at the same time we should also share our ideas or the any suggestions to the teams, so that the problems can be solved very easily. Next is the next will be the complete the meeting. Complete the meeting in the given time with the good feedbacks or get the feedbacks with the appropriate frequency of meetings. So this will be the steps in making the team meetings. Next we'll see the recognitions and rewards. Why the recognition is required? What are the reward is required? What is recognition? Recognition is a form of employee motivations in which the organization publicly acknowledge means it will tell the positive contributions of an individual or team has made to the success of organizations. So that will be the examples. So next is the reward. What is reward? Reward is something tangible. Tangible means it can be touchable, it can be sensed. Okay. So it may be tangible things like gifts or cash or awards to promote the desirable behaviors. Next one is employees should be involved in the planning and implementation of recognition and reward programs. So everyone has to be involved in this process. So next is systems that are developed with the employee involvement are mostly to be successful. So next one is employees should be involved with the managers, sometime with the customers and suppliers in the nomination and selection of individuals, and team to be recognized and rewarded. So here sometimes the employee has to be interactive with both the managers as well as to the customers, so that he will be come in contact with both the peoples. At that time we can recognize his efforts to solve the problems. The system that develops by a team must have a clear recognition criteria. It should have a how to recognize, on what basis we have to recognize, that should be there. The system should be structured to avoid ranking individuals, because ranking envisions the counterproductive notations that are winners and losers. There should not be any ranking systems. It should provide only to it will announce the who are the best performer of the month or the year, that should be published. Recognition should be valid and genuine and meaningful for the giver and the recipient. Okay, it should be worth for the people who is receiving and also who is giving. It should be developed that monetary reward is not a substitute for the compensation. Always we should not give a monetary. Okay, it may be other than that also. While rewarding may be delayed until the appropriate time, the recognition should be done on a timely basis. We have to recognize at every time. It may be month, best performer of the month, of the 2 month, 3 months, or the quarterly. So you have to recognize for every periods. Reward should be appropriate to the improvement level. It may be a greater the improvement, greater is the rewards. As per their rewards, we should give the rewards. So pictures on the bulletin board, articles on the newsletter or newspaper, letters to families, making presentation to management, personal phone calls, placing positive notes in the folders, and increased responsibilities are the other forms of recognitions. These are the one methods of recognizing the people. So putting their achievements, putting their on the notice board, or making them, telling them thank yous. All these are the methods so that we can recognize. So reason to recognize the employees. Why to recognize the employees? So reason is that improve the employee morale. Morale means that the spiritual spirits, or the confidence level, or the motivation level, the level of confidence we can say. To improve that, we have to recognize, show the company's appreciation for better performance, so that if you are recognizing, the people will start to work better and better as the previous one. Next one is create satisfied workforce. In order to make the satisfied employees, we have to recognize. If you are not recognizing, the people will not satisfied. Create highly motivated workplace. If you are recognizing the employees, there will be development of highly motivated workplace. Reinforce behavioral patterns. It for by recognizing, the people will changes by seeing the others. So stimulate creative efforts. So it is going to develop the creative efforts. Next one is, it is a difference between the intrinsic and extrinsic rewards. So what is intrinsic? Intrinsic means the within the natural rewards is, or the extrinsic means the profit sharing or the external rewards. So intrinsic will be including all these points, the non-monetary form of a recognition to acknowledge the achievements of quality improvement goals, whereas the eccentric includes the profit sharing. Okay, so next one is, second is the collaboration to acknowledge the achievements of quality improvement goals. It will be collaborating the things. So whereas this, it is a gain sharing. What is gain sharing? It is also kind of a plan where the employee gets the additional profit as per the work, as per the productivity. Next is the regular expression of appreciation by managers and leaders to employees to acknowledge achievement of quality improvement goals. So showing some expressions to the employees so that he is doing a best. So third, in the extrinsic rewards, it is employee security is there. Similarly, in intrinsic rewards, it is 360-degree performance appraisals with collecting all the subordinates, all the appraising in that way. So whereas here it is compensation in the time. So you have to give a compensation in the times. So next is the fifth one is formal suggestion system available for the individuals to make a quality improvement suggestions. These are intrinsic rewards, where in the extrinsic it is individual based performance systems. So next, in intrinsic it is developmental based performance appraisals, whereas it is extrinsic, it is quality based performance appraisals. So it is on the quality based promotions. So next is the 20 different ways to recognize the people. So there are different ways we can go through: sending letters, thanking them, developing behind the scene awards, creating best ideas of the year booklet, feature the quality team of month, honor the peers at the staff meetings. So next, in the absence of meeting, let others attend the meetings of seminars. So these are all the different ways. So we are having all these different ways to recognize the peoples. We are having mentioned in these things different ways of recognizing the peoples. So next one is performance appraisals. What is performance appraisals? It is a systematic and objective assessment. It is an assessment of an individual, or the evaluation of the performance and contribution of individuals. It is a systematic and objective way of judging the relative worth of an employee in performing his or her task. So in the performance appraisals, we are going to judge how the people is doing, whether it is making a delay, whether it is making a disturbances, all these things. So all these things can be well studied by the employer, so that he'll be given promotions and all these things. It is systematic and periodic. Periodic means timely, every 3 months, every 2 months. So the company people will going to review your work, how you are doing, what is the way, what is the speed of your doing of work. So that is going to be analyzed. And impartial rating of an employee excellence in matters pertaining to the his present job and his potential for the better job, for a better job. So these are the performance appraisals. So what is the need for performance appraisals? So in order to to make the salary revisions, promotions, transfer, demotions, and layout, so these all will need leads to your hike in the salaries. For that, appraisals are taken out to take a stock of skills and potential availables. If you are making a performance appraisals, we'll come to know the what kind of a skill is there, to identify training needs of the employees, whether really needs training for the employees or not. So next is to motivate the employees, we need to have a performance appraisals to identify the strengths and the weakness of the individuals, to make personal decisions, and to develop the career planning programs, to validate the selection procedures, and to improve the communication in the organizations. So these are the needs of the appraisals. How to process the performance appraisals? So first one is establish performance standards. So you have to create a standards on that level. You have to consider each and every one individual's performance. If you are reaching that target, his performance is good. So firstly we have to create a standard, performance standard. Communicate performance expectations to the employees. We have to tell to the employees, if you are reaching this level, you will be performance is good. You have to communicate these performance standards. Measure the actual performance. So where they are reaching, our target is 100%. So where they are reaching 80%, so you are going to give a grades or the points. Compare actual performance with the standards. So you have to comparing what level he has been reached. Discuss the appraisals with the employees. If necessary, initiate the corrective actions. So next is the benefits of performance appraisals. What are the benefits of doing this performance appraisals? So it will providing the useful feedback for the corrective actions. It will help to the determining the compensations. It will be the provide basics for the promotions, transfer, demotions, and all these things. It will help to identify the training needs, whether to give a training or not. It will help the employees to plan their career, okay, whether to switch on to the next job, whether to enhance their skills. So what they have to do, it helps in providing feedbacks on employees strength and weakness. We can give a strength, what are their strength and weaknesses. It may help in identifying external factors which are affecting the performance. What are the external factors? It may be family matters, it may be financial, it may be any other parameters why the performance is getting decreasing. It certainly puts sort of pressure on the people for better performance. So in this after next we are having trade unions. What are trade unions? Trade unions are the unions of employees who are struggling, who are fighting for the employees betterments. So in every companies will have a trade unions. It's a group of people who are making the associations of all the employees who work for the betterment of the employees. It may be salary hike, it may be any security purposes. So these associations will have work for the companies. So this will be including your almost third chapter, completing all the third chapter. If you are having any doubts or any clarification, do feel to call to the professors. Thank you.